The Devil is the 15th card that we come to on our journey to goal. And like the Death card, this one can be a little frightening at first blush. But remember, it's only a symbolic representation. And there are many ways to interpret this card depending on circumstances. But for the purpose of this video series, we're going to look at it as it pertains to our journey to goal. This card is meant to look scary because it's about facing one's fears. And I don't mean the boogeyman or the creepy basement in your grandma's house. It's about those deep down fears, those personal fears that can keep us from doing something or getting something that we want, or it can lead us to do things that aren't in our best interest. First, let's focus on the larger-than-life devil that sits perched on a pedestal. And there's that old saying about putting something or someone up on a pedestal. It's typically representational of something we have convinced ourselves that we really, really want. Unfortunately, sometimes what we want is not necessarily what we need. This card asks us to take a moment and examine what we have placed up on our pedestals. Are we trying to fill a personal need like love, acceptance, or self-worth with an item or status of some kind? Because in the long run, that never works out. And you can look all you want, but you will not find acceptance and self-worth in the bottom of your Chanel bag or in the trunk of an expensive car. Ask yourself, is this really what I want? Maybe the devil represents a destructive pattern of behavior or an addiction born out of some kind of fear. Or are we trying to replace a deep personal need with an item or lifestyle because doing the personal work scares the crap out of us? If you've placed the wrong thing on that pedestal, it might have a negative impact on your life, and that is symbolized by our scary friend here. You can see that our heroes are in chains and appear to be anchored to that pedestal. And this is telling us to be careful what we put on that pedestal because we could become enslaved to it. Let's say that you've put wealth on the pedestal because you've mistaken financial worth for self-worth. You will never be able to purchase enough to give you self-worth because that comes from within and it's free for the taking. But there is hope for our heroes because if you look closely at the chains around their necks, they are large enough to be easily slipped over their heads and they can just walk away. Even though they first appear to be hopelessly bound to this devil, once they recognize what he represents, they also realize that they have the power to release themselves from their bondage of chains.